Thank you for the invitation. This is the first time I'm live here. I was invited to a workshop during the spring, but I was in the US at that time, so I think you looked at a short video. And we have a shorter version of that video today, so I will finish my presentation with that video. I use the green pea. Peas is a very important crop for us, therefore I use the green pea, but you can also see this is the earth. So when you talk about climate certification, you must think global. You act local, but you think global. So first of all, I was going to present the Findus Sustainable Agriculture Program, and then finally I will tell you a little bit about the climate certification. Here are the crops we grow in Sweden, totally 8,500 hectares as we heard, and 550 growers are involved in this. And you can see the quantities, and on the right side you can see that all the farmers, they have their basic certification. And then you can see what we have done so far, as Anna told you about, that the spinach, kale, dill, parsley, chives, we have these additionals. We have the BIB to the basic certification. That is the climate certification. Where are we operating? I was at the Agricultural Ministry 5 years ago, and I explained what we are doing, and they introduced this pea belt, the pea zone. This is the best place in the world to grow green peas. This is should be the coast maritime climate. Not too warm, some showers, 2 showers per month, 30 millimeters per shower. And Bjuv is just in the center of this pea zone. That is latitude 56. And all whiskey lovers, they know that there is a whiskey called latitude 55. Now you know there is a peas latitude 56. But the background for it is the climate. We have the temperature, not too high. I had a discussion with some people from Ukraine a few years ago, and they were very, very disappointed because they were not in the belt. They were growing green peas, but they were not in the pea belt. No problem, I said to them, this is a PowerPoint, so I moved down the line here. Now you're in the pea belt. But it doesn't help you because you have still 35, 40 degrees during the summer, and you cannot produce high quality peas with that temperature. So I moved back the line again. Development of the pea acreage in Sweden, we started 70 years ago, and today we have about 8,000 hectares. Food quality. What is food quality? Yes, it's very much depending on who you're talking to. It's hard to explain, and I try to summarize what I think food quality could be for all different persons. First of all, the products must be available on the market. And then many people look at the price, only the low price, the lowest price. Some people are interested in the visible quality, the taste, the sweetness, and so on. Some people are worried about the invisible quality, if there are heavy metals, pesticide residues, and so on and so on. And some people are worried about how the impact on the environment. And some people want to have a quality assurance for the product. What we found that we could manage all these wishes with Findus LISA concept. Therefore, we have developed this concept. I will go through it very, very quickly. This is a 10-point program. First of all, we have everything between Findus and the farmers that is in contract. So all the rights and obligations between the two parts is in the contract. And we test all the soils. We have done soil tests since 1961. We have our own plant breeding, so we have disease-resistant varieties. We give instructions, recommendations to the farmers for the plant nutrition. And we give the sowing plan. We plan all the sowing to the farmers. And we give instructions to the farmers for plant protection. Because you have some crops, you have disease problems. There we work with the integrated pest management. And the target for this is that when we use chemicals, it should be below 10 ppb. That is a new limit for baby food criteria in common market since 2002. We give recommendations in those crops where we have to irrigate. We decide when to harvest the fields, the maturity of the crop. That is very, very important. If you don't want to have a big crop, you harvest late, but then it's not a sweet crop. Then you have a very hard, starchy piece, for instance. We do the harvest, the piece, and we organize the transport, and we use ice. Sometimes when it's hot in the air, we put ice on the crop already on the truck in the field. And the last point, continuous improvement. That's very important. And what we have on the agenda now is that we are changing from chemical treatment of the seed to bacterial treatment. And we have developed, together with Svenskt Sigill, a new standard for industrial contracted crops that is called One Farm Concept. And we have this climate certification where we have started with the leaf vegetables. And this 10-point program, that is what we call Findus LISA concept. We spend a lot of resources to develop, improve this concept. We have our own R&D department. We run trials in field, and we harvest and we process the product and we evaluate the finished product. The target for this is should be high quality of the raw material in color and texture, in purity, free from, high productivity in the field and also in the factory, low environmental impact, and it should be sustainable. It should be sustainable for today and tomorrow and 10 years and so on. Therefore, we test all the soils, as I mentioned before. So there is a fungus that could destroy the crop, that is Aphanomyces eoticus, and if you're not careful with the crop rotation, you can have attacks on the roots like this. And you get only a get low yield, and you get an uneven quality. That's not good when you talk about climatic environmental impact if you don't get the yield. So that is very, very important that you secure that you have good yields. So these tests are just now running in the glasshouses for next season. So we test about 800 fields, and we reject fields where we can find this fungus on the roots. We have our own plant breeding. We started 30 years ago, and 20 years ago it was the first year we introduced commercially our varieties. The target with this breeding is, first of all, it should be high yielding, high proportion of extra fine piece, and disease-resistant varieties with good color, good flavor, and a high vitamin C content. That is very important because there is a correlation between flavor and vitamin C content. We could have diseases in the problems in the field, and in weeds we can have buds from Matricaria inodora, for instance. And people, consumers, they complain if they get buds from this in the product. People complain if they get berries from the nightshade in the product. People complain if they get caterpillar from this silver wire moth. P. aphid could reduce the yield 30, 40, 50% when you have heavy attacks. And you can get the pure quality from this pea moth. The caterpillar is eating on the peas, so they are damaged. So we have to use plant protection. Here is an example for peas in Europe. These are different MRL, maximum residue levels. That is acceptable levels for all people. 2002, a new limit was decided for baby food, 10 ppb. With Findus LISA concept, we have all our crops below this 10 ppb. That we are proud of. Now to the climate certification. It was initiated 2007 from the Swedish government to promote the best in each category, as Anna told you. And the process for the farmers is, first of all, they must have the basic third-party certification in the bottom, and on top of that, they must have to make this energy mapping, nitrogen balance, control the crop rotation, manual regulations if they handle manual on the farm, and they have to go for eco-driving to run the machines smooth, and they have to choose the best fertilizers. It should be a BAT fertilizer, best available technique. And there is a limit for CO2 equivalent per kilogram. Just now it's 4 kilogram. In this program it should be improved, so 2012 it should be reduced to 3.6. This is the process to go through for the farmers. And so far we have these products on the right side on the market. On the left side we have our peas and we have carrots, and our program now is to hopefully we can move also these products to the right side, so we get the basic certification with the BIB climate certification. That is on the retail market, yes. And you can find it on the package as Anna showed you, and we have the farmers on the back side. A map where we are growing. On the food service products, we also started to mark those products. And so far we have about 15, and 5, 6 of them are climate certified. So totally we have about 12, 3 minutes, yes, good. 12 climate certified products on the market. And finally, thank you for listening. And I discussed yesterday with Stefan Jens about climate certification of green peas, and he said, you have the best product in the world, easiest product, only right green peas. Okay, we finished with
Sweden has developed a unique system for climate certification of the food chain. The certification guarantees to consumers that climate impact has been lowered. This system is launched since June 2010. Milk, pork, flowers, vegetables and fish are among the climate certificate products that consumers now can buy in Swedish stores. One of the first major food companies to certify their production was Findus.
We are the market leader on frozen vegetables in Sweden, and we have products on the German market, we have in Italy, and we have a sustainability program, and this climate certification helps us to communicate this to the customers and to consumers and to the trade. So when we talk about sustainability, then it's very important for us to be number one on the market. First of all, the farmers must have a basic certification. he must have a good agricultural practice on his farm, and it should be third-party audited also. And on top of that, he must make an energy analysis, he must make a nitrogen balance, he must have a crop rotation, he must follow the rules for special rules for manure spreading if they have manure on the farm. He must go for an eco-driving, he has to learn and run the machines in a proper way. And then he must choose the best fertilizer on the market. And then the last point is that for farmers, they have to make this program, and then they have to have a continuous improvement.
I'm working with the climate certification because I think the climate is very important thing. If it's good for the consumers, then it must be good for the producers and farmers too, and it's good for all people on our earth.
We communicate this to the consumer on the package. On the front side we have a brand, Svenskt Sigill, with a sub-brand climate certification. On the back side of the package we have the farmer, and a sentence from the farmer, and also a map where the crops are grown. All could be the winners, the farmers and the processors and the consumer and the earth.
Consumer studies in Sweden show that 3 out of 4 consumers want to be able to choose food with lower climate impact, and every second consumer say they are willing to pay more for such a product. When you choose a climate-certified product in the store, you can be certain that the producer has done what is possible and feasible to lower the climate impact for the food chain. Climate certification is an important step towards sustainability.